Good afternoon. Attention all guests. The ceremony will begin momentarily. Please ensure your digital devices have been turned off or silenced. Thank you. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. If you are able, please rise for the arrival of our graduates. Guests, please remain standing for the arrival of our platform party.
Good afternoon, and a very warm welcome to our honored guests and our graduates. My name is Simone Philogène, and I am the Chief Enrollment Officer at CCNM. In this capacity, I have the honor of presiding over these proceedings in this historic Convocation home. The Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine humbly recognizes that the Toronto campus of CCNM is situated on the shared traditional territory and home of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Huron-Wendat, and Mississaugas of the Credit. Toronto is the territory subject to the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement to peaceably share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. This territory is still home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful for the opportunity to learn and work on this land. We honor Indigenous peoples' role for millennia as stewards of the land. We look to Indigenous wisdom for guidance to foster a reciprocal relationship with the environment and to walk gently on the earth in order to preserve and protect the land, air, and water for 7 generations and beyond. At this time, please continue to stand for our national anthem. You can find the words to O Canada inserted in your program. True patriot love. Please take your seats. Members of the Board of Governors, honored guests, faculty and staff, graduates, friends and family of graduates, welcome to the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine's 2025 Toronto Campus Convocation ceremony. Thank you for joining us in this celebration. I present to you these scholars who today will be admitted to the Doctor of Naturopathy degree. It is my honor to salute and congratulate you, the graduating class of 2025. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce some of our platform party. Please stand as I call your name. Dr. Carol Morley, ND, Vice Chair of the Board of Governors of CCNM. Dr. Rahim Karim, President and CEO, CCNM. Dr. Nick DeGroot, ND, Dean of CCNM. Ms. Sean O'Reilly, today's honorary degree recipient, who you will hear much more about shortly. I would also like to recognize our honored guests. Please stand when I call your name. Dr. Audrey Sasson, ND, Chair of the Board, Ontario Association of Naturopathic Doctors. Dr. Iva Lloyd, ND, Chief Executive Officer, World Naturopathic Federation. Gemma Beyerbach, Chief Executive Officer, Canadian Association of Naturopathic Doctors. I'm now delighted to invite the President and CEO of CCNM, Dr. Rahim Karim, to say a few words.
Good afternoon. Members of the Board of Governors, Ms. Sean O'Reilly, honorary degree recipient, distinguished guests, CCNM faculty, staff, and graduates. Welcome to the 43rd Convocation of the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine. Graduates, today marks the culmination of years of hard work, academic achievement, and an unwavering commitment to the field of naturopathic medicine. It is a privilege for me to address and congratulate you on this momentous occasion. You are graduating from a historic pan-Canadian institution, the only accredited naturopathic medical education provider in Canada. Our graduates are making their mark across this country and around the world. I want to acknowledge the family and friends of all our graduates. We know that your support has been critical to today's achievements. The growth of our students from their first year at CCNM to the confident, well-trained, and compassionate naturopathic medical graduates you see before you today is due in large part to your dedication to their success. At CCNM, growth is a shared mindset. It drives our enduring commitment to cultivate an environment where students are empowered to strive for excellence. Through innovations in academic delivery, research, and clinical care, the college is positioned as a leader in advancing the naturopathic profession and promoting the benefits of preventative health care. Within the last 12 months, we have launched CCNM Clinics, a cohesive network of naturopathic teaching clinics and community health centers currently serving British Columbia and Ontario. On average, CCNM clinicians and interns see nearly 40,000 patient visits in a calendar year and use a holistic and preventative approach to treat a variety of conditions. CCNM recently announced an early entry pathway in partnership with Trent University, which provides eligible Trent students with the opportunity to apply to CCNM during their second year and receive conditional acceptance. The pathway is the first of its kind for CCNM and signals a breakthrough in cross-institutional collaboration and paves the way for future partnerships of this nature. Through a strong culture of research, CCNM is at the forefront of furthering our understanding of naturopathic medicine and complementary therapies through rigorous study into current topics of interest. In September, CCNM researchers published the results of the first ever pilot study on the use of dietary counseling and omega-3 supplementation for the treatment of generalized anxiety disorder in the journal Nutritional Neuroscience. The findings highlight how diet-based interventions can complement traditional approaches to psychotherapy. In addition, the Patterson Institute for Integrative Oncology Research at CCNM has partnered with the Ottawa Hospital and Michael Garron Hospital to evaluate the effectiveness of administering integrative care interventions to patients undergoing surgery for lung, gastric, or esophageal cancer. These interventions, delivered by naturopathic doctors in combination with conventional medicine, include recommendations for physical activity, dietary changes, mental health support, and natural health product supplementation. CCNM is also amongst the first naturopathic institutions to engage with thought leaders regarding the use of artificial intelligence in classroom and in clinical practice. While this is still a developing and complex area, CCNM is exploring how AI may be used to augment teaching and learning in a responsible and thoughtful manner. Commemorating our professional achievements presents us with a vital opportunity to look back. What is growth without legacy? Indeed, the two are inseparable. Growth is more than progress. It is a continuation of the dreams, determination, and triumphs of those who built the foundations of the naturopathic profession. Legacy, in turn, gives growth its meaning and direction, and connects us to the vision, wisdom, and inheritance of our predecessors. So, to fully appreciate the breadth and impact of CCNM's achievements, we must understand and honor this legacy of naturopathic medicine and embrace our role in carrying it forward. In Ontario, the roots of the profession stretch back to the early 20th century. This was a period of time marked by rapid industrialization, significant economic shifts, advances in technology, and widespread social change. An increasingly health-conscious population clamored for complementary approaches to conventional medical care, a void quickly and efficiently filled by naturopathic doctors, then known as drugless practitioners. This year, 2025, is noteworthy as it signifies a century of regulation in Ontario. From 1925 until 2015, Ontario's naturopathic doctors, NDs, were regulated under the Drugless Practitioner Act. In 2015, 10 years ago, the Naturopathy Act was proclaimed, and NDs became regulated under the Regulated Health Professions Act and gained the use of the doctor title. 10 years ago, during the same period, CCNM Toronto campus was given the ability through the Ministry of Colleges and Universities in Ontario to grant the Doctor of Naturopathy degree to our graduates. Today's honorary degree recipient, Ms. Sean O'Reilly, was at the front line of these positive changes and has gathered many high-level insights into the profession. You will hear much about that shortly. We know that awareness of naturopathic medicine continues to spread. A report by Future Market Insights, published in 2024, attributes the demand for preventative care to higher rates of chronic disease, escalating healthcare expenditures, and an overall focus on wellness and lifestyle interventions that promote positive health outcomes. In fact, the global market is forecasted to increase by 5.2% or $500 billion USD by 2035. Regulated naturopathic doctors receive the fulsome education and possess the unparalleled set of skills to meet this demand. The training at CCNM prepares you for a host of diverse opportunities in areas such as clinical practice, integrative care, research, entrepreneurship, academia, authorship, public policy, and much more. I leave you today with 3 thoughts for the future. First, you now belong to an extraordinary lineage of healers whose efforts and advocacy have profoundly shaped the growth of the naturopathic profession in Canada and around the world. As you cross this stage today and step into your next chapter, I encourage you to reflect on how you plan to contribute to the profession. How will you use your training, passion, and purpose to grow the future of naturopathic medicine and leave a legacy that inspires generations to come? Second, there is strength in collaboration with other healthcare professionals as you address the well-being of the communities you serve. Interprofessional collaboration, as highlighted by the World Health Organization, leads to improved patient outcomes, enhanced patient safety, and increased job satisfaction for healthcare providers. Additionally, it contributes to cost-effective care delivery across various healthcare settings. And lastly, education is a lifelong endeavor and a journey that does not stop here. We hope that you will continue this journey throughout your career by becoming lifelong reflective learners. This will assist you in providing the best possible care to those who you serve. The future of the naturopathic profession will shine brightly because of you, our graduates. Congratulations, class of 2025. The faculty and staff of CCNM are delighted to have had the opportunity to know you, be part of your learning journey, and support you in this noble profession. We are very proud of you and applaud your achievements. Know that we will always be here to celebrate all that you achieve and support you through your journey as a CCNM alumni. We wish you good luck, prosperity, and happiness in all your endeavors. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Rahim. I would now ask Dr. Carol Morley, ND, Vice Chair of the CCNM Board of Governors, to come to the podium and introduce today's honorary degree recipient.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure and privilege to introduce you to today's honorary degree recipient. Ms. Sean O'Reilly. For over 40 years, Sean has championed naturopathic medicine and promoted its positive impact on the health of Canadians. She gained significant insight into the opportunities and challenges facing naturopathic doctors in Canada in her senior roles at 2 nutraceutical companies and later as the manager of a holistic compounding pharmacy. It was during this time that Sean sat on the board of directors for the Ontario Association of Naturopathic Doctors as a public member and gained a deeper understanding of the mechanics involved in regulation, licensure, and public policy as it relates to the naturopathic profession. She comes by her knowledge and interest in government policy and regulation through her work in the legal world at the beginning of her career. Sean joined the Canadian Association of Naturopathic Doctors, or the CAND, as the Executive Director and Director of Government Relations in 2002, over 2 decades ago. The early 2000s were a pivotal yet precarious time in the profession's development, as the increasing numbers of naturopathic doctors graduating and practicing in this country underscored the need for a strong, organized, forward-facing national organization that could serve the needs of every member and advocate for policy and regulation to support both naturopathic doctors and their patients. It was Sean's in-depth knowledge of the profession and her confident leadership that guided the CAND through this period of steady growth. Sean's professional nature, coupled with her robust experience in administrative and legal processes, ensured that the CAND remained at the forefront of change and policy development for the profession. It would be impossible to list every single one of Sean's accomplishments, but I will begin with her adept positioning of the CAND as the front line for government relations and advocacy for NDs. There is CAND representation at nearly every naturopathic association in North America, and Sean personally sat on countless advisory committees, working groups, boards, and federations, offering advice and support to continue advancing the profession in Canada. Sean liaised extensively with various ministries and directorates of the federal government, including health, finance, Indigenous affairs, and Veterans Affairs. She also received several commendations from Health Canada for her work as a member of the Natural Health Products Directorate Program Advisory Committee. During her tenure, Sean's efforts led to the widespread promotion and acceptance of naturopathic medicine at the national level. She helped to secure the GST-HST exemption for regulated naturopathic services in 2014, which helped to remove financial barriers for those who seek healthcare options from NDs. In addition, her advocacy in this area resulted in coverage of naturopathic services for Canadian veterans, ensuring they have access to a broader range of healthcare choices. Sean worked to expand and negotiate the CAND's comprehensive insurance plan for NDs, which covers regulated therapies based on jurisdiction. 25 years ago, she spearheaded what became Naturopathic Medicine Week, an annual springtime event that celebrates the contributions of naturopathic doctors in building healthier communities. Every year, members of the CAND give talks and plan workshops to raise awareness about the benefits of naturopathic medicine and showcase the role that NDs play in patient-centered, individualized care. Finally, Sean oversaw several campaigns, including a CAND rebrand that included multi-platform advertisements. She also organized Health Fusion, a national biannual conference that united NDs from across the country for a weekend of professional development and connection. Sean announced her well-earned retirement in 2023. Sean, we thank you for your dedication to the naturopathic profession and the inspiring leadership you have provided. Thanks to your efforts, naturopathic doctors in Canada now speak with a powerful, cohesive voice at the national level. So, Sean, in recognition of your decades-long service to naturopathic medicine, I request that you please come forward to receive this Honorary Doctor of Naturopathy degree from the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine. I will be joined by Dr. Rahim Karim in presenting you the honorary degree.
Wow, I was busy. Dr. Morley, thank you for that lovely introduction. It actually reminded me of some of what I had actually done. And good afternoon, members of the CCNM Board of Directors, faculty, colleagues, friends and family, and of course, graduates. I am truly honored, I'm going to get emotional here, so forgive me, to be this year's recipient of the Honorary Doctor of Naturopathy degree. My years spent advocating, supporting, and representing the naturopathic profession, your profession, as Executive Director and Director of Government Relations for the Canadian Association of Naturopathic Doctors was not just a job. It became my passion and the highlight of my career. So thank you, CCNM Board of Governors, for granting me this wonderful honor. Graduates, in thinking about today and speaking to you, I realize that I have been at over 30 convocation ceremonies. The very first one, there was a grand total of 8 graduates. Now look, there's 151 of you, and I'm so happy about that. Well done. More importantly, well done. You did it. You made it through the program. Now you and your family can have a huge sigh of relief, sort of. Now there's only one more thing you have to do: study for, write, and pass the board exams. No biggie. And then you will be available to help millions, and I do mean millions of Canadians on their road to health. More about that later. During my work with the profession, I have found NDs to be curious, analytical, independent thinkers who like to work with others and are passionate about helping their patients, their colleagues, or others. They are also resolute and tenacious, that's a polite way of saying stubborn, and tend not to take no for an answer. Being Irish, I can totally identify with that. No is simply a challenge, an opportunity to push the boundaries and affect change. For those of you who have attended my presentations in first year and fourth year at CCNM over the years, you'll be familiar with a comment that I'll often make, that the profession has always punched above its weight class, able to achieve goals that not thought possible for a small profession. Today, there are almost 4,000 naturopathic doctors in Canada. Think about that for a minute. There's actually more naturopathic doctors on a per capita basis in Canada than in the United States. However, when I first joined the CAND back in 2002, that number was around 700 across the country. Most NDs were practicing in BC and Ontario. But despite that small number, there was regulation, albeit antiquated, in 4 provinces: BC, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and Ontario. There was a national association, then called the Canadian Naturopathic Association, now as you know, the CAND, a number of provincial associations run by volunteer board of directors that were all naturopathic doctors, and 2 schools, CCNM in Toronto and the fledgling Boucher Institute in New Westminster. These accomplishments were the direct result of the efforts of a fairly small group of naturopathic doctors, and supporters who dedicated their time, effort, and in many cases, their own money to ensure the profession's continued existence and advancement. We all owe they and those that followed a debt of gratitude, as they are responsible for ensuring the strong, vibrant naturopathic profession we have in this country. You are entering this profession standing on some very broad shoulders. The profession has faced a number of challenges over the year, but in all instances, and that includes attempts to deregulate the profession in Ontario, not once but twice, despite a lack of resources, political clout, or even experience, naturopathic doctors were always able to rally the troops, especially their patients, and push back. In some cases, it took many years, but they did not give up, and ultimately, they were successful. As I said, tenacious. For many years, few outside the profession, whether it was the public, other healthcare professions, or the government, had any understanding of naturopathic doctors, your education and training, or what NDs were doing on a daily basis to contribute to the health of Canadians. Government recognition and involvement at the federal level was basically non-existent. The status quo was not acceptable. It had to change. And when I arrived at the CAND, I intended to be one of the agents of change. It became my mission, and so my work began. The last 2 decades have seen significant and positive change for the profession. One of the key issues facing it in the past had always been a lack of resources, both human and financial, as well as low membership in the associations, the very organizations that were pushing forward for the profession. NDs and the associations were also working in silos across the country. There was no continuity, no collaboration. So it was resulting in a duplication of effort, and as you can imagine, high costs. Only the CAND, the British Columbia Naturopathic Association, and the Ontario Association had staff, and they were part-time. It wasn't glamorous. I can tell you that when I first went to the office of the CNA, we had a card table and 2 lawn chairs. That was our office and a filing cabinet. It got a little better over the years. In the early 2000s, the staff of those organizations came together and held a series of meetings trying to figure out how can we address this issue. And we put forward a proposal to our respective boards to link the national and provincial territorial associations. This would not only increase membership, but by extension, it would increase revenue, which would fund the work that needed to be done for the profession. So the linkage requires that in order to be a member with the CAND, you are also required to be a member of your provincial and territorial association. It was approved by the boards, and the CAND, BCND, Alberta Association, and Ontario Association were the first signatories to the agreement. Members and revenue grew exponentially, expanding the work that could be done on the profession's behalf. The membership numbers generated by the linkage also enabled us to develop at the CAND the malpractice insurance plan that Dr. Morley mentioned earlier. It is still, to this day, the most comprehensive and cost-effective insurance program for naturopathic doctors in this country, and is a standalone. It is just for you. All the provincial and territorial associations are now part of the linkage, and we're strong as a result. In the late 90s, the Federal Standing Committee on Health agreed with 53 recommendations that were put forward by then Health Minister Alan Rock, who was a Liberal. One of which was to regulate natural health products. Well, who knows about natural health products? Can you think of a profession that maybe might have a little insight into that? Of course, NDs, recognized as experts in the use of natural health products, were involved right away, with Doctors Pat Wales, Anthony Godfrey, and Paul Saunders meeting extensively with government and participating as members of the transition team that created the very first Office of Natural Health Products and sitting on the NHPD Expert Advisory Committee. The very first Director General of the NHPD was Dr. Philip Waddington, a graduate of CCNM. Like yourselves, I was engaged in the development of the regulations that came into force in 2004, and as the CAND representative, co-chaired the Standards of Evidence Working Group. And I also sat on a number of stakeholder advisory groups and various working groups until my retirement in 2024. This was an important connection at the federal level for the CAND, and the CAND continues its work as a key stakeholder with the NNHPD. To this day, those regulations that were developed all those years ago are considered the gold standard for natural health products in the world. To unite the profession and address that issue of them practicing in silos across the country, and to provide a forum to foster understanding and communication, and where appropriate, the sharing of information across the naturopathic stakeholders in Canada. And it was, regarding successes, the challenges being faced by the profession, and how we would move forward. Under the leadership of then Chair, Dr. Ivor Lloyd, and myself, we formed what is called the Canadian Naturopathic Coordinating Council. It meets at least once annually still, with its first meeting taking place at the CND Health Fusion Conference in Halifax in 2007. And I would add to Carol's comments about it was a weekend of education, everything, and a whole lot of dancing. One of my passions, and also something that really drew me to the naturopathic doctors. You guys love to dance. Participants of the CNCC are the senior leadership of each organization, the associations, the schools, as well as our cross-border and international naturopathic organizations. The CNCC identifies the areas of common interest and, where appropriate, opportunities for cooperation and or collaboration. It has improved efficiency across naturopathic stakeholders by communicating openly and sharing resources to decrease workload and duplication. An example of that is in Alberta, they were moving forward with their regulations, but they wouldn't be at that point given prescribing authority. BC was a little behind them, but they were going to get prescribing authority. So the decision was made for Alberta to step back for a little bit of time and let BC move forward. And BC became the first jurisdiction in Canada to have prescribing authority. And it is the scope that all the other provinces and territories work towards. The GST-HST came out of the CNCC meeting. The CND was on lead, but we had help from everybody else, gathering all the data and all the letters that we needed for the government. I always said government has two speeds, dead, slow, and stop. It took us 7 years and working with 3 different federal ministers of finance, but in 2014, we got the exemption for your patients, which is wonderful. I wanted to share a little story about that to give you an idea of some of the frustration of working, and joy, I guess, of working with government. We finally were able to make a significant headway with Minister Jim Flaherty. He was a Conservative member of Parliament, and we had good meetings in 2013 and leading into 2014. We spent a lot of time together, and he finally said, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to give you the exemption. I was thrilled. We've been working with H&K on it, and I thought, all right, I can hardly wait to get back and tell everybody. A week later, I got a phone call from their senior policy advisor, whose name also happened to be Sean, who said, Sean, I'm really sorry to have to tell you this, but there isn't room in this spring's budget to include the exemption. You'll have to wait. You can imagine how we felt about that. But oh well, this is how government works. We'll just keep at it. We'll just set the next meetings. 3 days later, I got an invitation from the finance minister's office to come and attend what they call the budget lockdown before the minister presents the budget. I thought, well, we're not getting the GST, so why should I go to the lockdown? But our government relations people said, no, this optics, this is good. You should go just to learn about it so that when it happens, you'll know. So off I went to Ottawa, where they take away your phone, they take away your computer, they give you a pad of paper and a pencil, and they lock you in a room with 200 people with big screen TVs. And you sit there very patiently and wait until the Minister of Finance stands up in the House of Commons to deliver the budget, at which point staff comes out into the room and gives everybody a budget that's this big, and a summary sheet of the highlights. I thought, okay, right, so I'm reading through the highlights, and my heart stopped. Number 3 on the list was exemption for government for services for naturopathic doctors on the GST and HST. I lost all decorum and let out a war whoop and said, "We got it, we got it." And then I read the next line, effective the next day. Well, think about that. That means that that next day, naturopathic doctors across Canada had to stop charging GST and HST to their patients. I got out of the lockdown, I got my laptop, I got my cell phone, I ran over to Hill and Knowlton's offices, we celebrated with some champagne, and then we got to work. We worked until 4 o'clock in the morning, developing communications and thank you letter to Minister Flaherty, and getting that message out to the membership to get them to stop charging the GST, HST the next day. It was a lot of hard work, but it was a joy doing it. And then it then took, because the other little bit in there is Minister Flaherty had not warned the Canada Revenue Agency that he was doing this. And they had to write the technical bulletin. So they actually assigned 6 people to work with me to create the technical bulletin that actually explains how you have the GST exemption. So one hand doesn't necessarily know what the other hand is doing. But it was wonderful. Apart from the NNHPD, the CAND had struggled to make inroads with the federal government. And back in the early 2000s when I first joined, the CAND was unable to afford to engage a government relations firm, which meant we had to come up with creative and inexpensive ways to make those government connections and achieve our goals, like stalking. I'm very serious. I'll give you the example of how it happened. We found out that then Health Minister Anne McClellan was going to be at a breakfast meeting in Toronto, and she was being introduced by Dr. Carolyn Bennett, who was her friend and also a member of Parliament, and I so happened to be somebody I had gone to school with. So we finagled an invitation, and off Dr. Iva Lloyd and I went to the breakfast meeting, did some networking, and I was able to connect with Carolyn, who introduced me to Minister McClellan. We had a very brief conversation, and I told her where I was from and really wanted to speak to her about naturopathic medicine, to which she replied, "That'd be great, just get in touch with my office." Okay, fine. That was the end of that meeting. As soon as the meeting was over, I jumped in my car and drove to Ottawa, because that night, Minister McClellan was being honored at a dinner reception at the Museum of Natural History. So I drove like crazy to Ottawa, got to the receiving line as she went going through, and as Minister McClellan is coming through the line, she stops and she looks at me with this look on her face, and I said, "I'm not stalking you. You did see me this morning, we met, but I really want to meet with you to talk about naturopathic medicine and naturopathic doctors." She turned to her staff and said, "Get this woman's business card." Anne McClellan actually opened the door for the CAND, not only to the Ministry of Health, but to the federal government as a whole. And the rest, as they say, is history. The CAND started to be invited, albeit initially after the meeting had already taken place or the day before, to meetings and consultations on health issues, and asked to provide NDs to participate as members of scientific review panels and advisory committees. Regardless of how late we received that invitation, I showed up. Whether it meant booking a flight late at night or getting in the car early in the morning, it was important that they see that we were there, that we took this very seriously. The last notice made it almost impossible to have an ND, who, they're all practicing, to join me, but whenever possible, an ND did go with me. The government took note of our persistence and finally in 2004 officially recognized the CAND as a stakeholder with the federal government. In 2012, we were finally able to engage Hill & Knowlton, a stellar government relations and public relations firm in Ottawa. It was another game changer. H&K had the skills and connections to get us the meetings that we really needed with key bureaucrats, MPs, and ministers to push our asks and to advocate on behalf of your profession. They also created a strategic communications plan for us, which we used with not only government, but also with media, and to help get the messages out. Over the years, I had the privilege of developing and maintaining relationships with various bureaucrats, senior policy advisors, and staffers of all parties, which were crucial to making our case with ministers and departments. This was particularly important when COVID hit. That was a disaster for the profession because they weren't recognized as those that could keep their clinics open, and that was their livelihood. I immediately got on the phone, and through my connections and through the data we collected from the membership, we were able to ensure that the minister changed the rules for benefits to include naturopathic doctors. They were then able to apply for the benefits to get them through COVID, which was important. We also worked with the Public Health Agency of Canada. I sat on their advisory table, and that resulted in naturopathic doctors being included in the guidelines for communities looking for primary care providers to help in the COVID pandemic. Over the years, I became a true policy wonk, and some people think that's a strange thing, but I did love it, and I still do. Poring over legislation, regulations, or proposals, and drafting the submissions filled on behalf of the profession. I also took my government relations skills on the road, as I called it, working with provincial and territorial associations, particularly those without staff, on their regulatory efforts and/or their bylaws. I'm now pleased to say that there is regulation in 6, soon to be 7, jurisdictions: BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and the Northwest Territories. The Northwest Territories has the BC scope of practice, which includes prescribing. And there are only 2 naturopathic doctors in the Northwest Territories. So if you're thinking of moving, they're looking. Full regulation in Nova Scotia will be proclaimed, which regulations have been completed and approved, and I'm hopeful that that's going to happen this year. And both PEI and New Brunswick are once again engaged with their respective health ministries pushing to get the profession regulated. That'll be a game changer when we have regulation in the Atlantic provinces. Regulations are important because they set out what NDs can do in practice. They set out your scope of practice. They recognize that you are primary care, that you are a profession, and it ensures public safety. In addition to the work being done at home, Canadian NDs were becoming more and more involved on the world stage. In 2007, representatives from Canada, Dr. Iva Lloyd and myself, and Dr. Dennis O'Hara, also a naturopathic doctor, and Drs. Tabitha Parker and Soroya Crouch from the United States attended the World Health Organization consultation in Milan, Italy, to participate in a consultation on herbal medicine and naturopathy training. We were able to be there with the leaders of traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic, Unai, and Unani medicine. It was awe-inspiring to be with all of those people, and we were also able to make the case for 2 levels of naturopathic training. Those of you that are trained as you are and have a degree, and those that take programs that are 2,000 hours or less. The work that we did was then published in 2010 in the document called Benchmarks in Training in Naturopathy. In the following years, a number of international meetings took place, culminating in 2014 with a meeting of over 30 naturopathic doctors and naturopaths from 20 different countries. At the meeting, there was consensus on the need to establish the World Naturopathic Federation. The WNF was then incorporated in Canada, and the CAND was a founding member. Past CAND Chair Dr. Iva Lloyd was its first president, and now serves as CEO of the WNF. It was another game changer. Naturopathic doctors were now working on the world stage with the WHO and other important organizations. Check out the website. All the information is there. And if you're looking to get involved, the connections are there too. Remember the millions of Canadians I said you would be able to help earlier? Well, that's not just a number pulled out of the air. It's actual data from the research conducted by the CAND as part of its 4-year national awareness campaign, which ran from 2015 to 2019. The campaign consisted of a series of TV commercials, which, if you're interested, are still available for viewing on YouTube, featuring naturopathic doctors answering questions about NDs and naturopathic medicine, as well as an extensive social media campaign. Not only did the campaign increase awareness of who you are, your education and training, but more importantly, it actually changed minds. The campaign reached over 6 million Canadians in our target group. Women 25 to 69 with average to above average income and higher education. Above average education and higher income. At the beginning of the campaign, this is important, 4 in 10 of the target market had name recognition only when it came to NDs. There was about 10% that said they would never, didn't matter what information we gave them, they weren't interested in seeing an ND. But 21% said they were willing to see an ND. 24% were already convinced and seeing an ND, but fully 45% said they would need convincing. In essence, they needed more information before they would consider seeing an ND. So we targeted that 45% and we gave them that information. And at the end of the campaign, that 45% were an 8 on a 1 to 10 scale of openness to seeing a naturopathic doctor. If my math is correct, and math has not been my strong point, so that represents 2,700,000 potential patients for you. Don't forget, 21% were already willing to see an ND and 24% were already seeing one. They are all out there waiting for you. Today, more people than ever before are seeking and benefiting from naturopathic medical care. That demand will only grow as Canadians increasingly find themselves struggling with a growing list of chronic diseases, an area where naturopathic doctors excel. For a country that is consistently looking for innovative ways to address growing healthcare challenges, naturopathic medicine's unique approach, blending modern scientific knowledge with traditional and natural forms of medicine, has the potential to be a positive disruptor due to its ability to address primary healthcare needs, particularly in that area of chronic disease, while also providing highly qualified professionals to bolster the primary care workforce. It has been slow in coming, but I'm really happy to be able to share with you that government and other healthcare professions are starting to seriously look at true interprofessional collaboration in an effort to address the problems Canadians are experiencing accessing primary care providers. In 2022, with funding from the federal government, an initiative known as Team Primary Care was launched. Team Primary Care's vision is an integrated health system in which every individual receives equitable, high-quality care from a well-trained, well-supported, and optimally utilized primary care team. That's important. NDs were invited to participate. In February of 2024, Dr. Garrett Bramall and I from the CAND, along with Dr. Nick DeGroot, Dean of CCNM, and Dr. Greg Nassif, also a CCNM graduate, attended the Team Primary Care Interprofessional Collaborative Summit in Ottawa. Naturopathic doctors were one of 22 healthcare professions participating as members of the Interprofessional Collaborative Table, and they were happy to have us there. The discussions were open and collaborative, and we came up with some pretty innovative ideas. As part of the work, our team was asked to contribute a naturopathic medicine compendium for publication. It was another example of professional collaboration for NDs, as NDs from across the country came together on a committee and helped in the development of the document. The compendium sets out information on the naturopathic profession and examples of the roles and responsibilities of NDs specific to 3 primary care domains: maternal, newborn, early childhood, chronic care, and older adult, geriatric, end of life. The Canadian Health Workforce Network publication, A Compendium of Roles in Team-Based Primary Care, has recently been published and is available for you to take a look at online. I know CCNM sent out a social media post about it as well. The summit was a formative experience for all of us. Everyone in attendance agreed that no one profession can do it all anymore. Things have to change. Canada needs comprehensive, efficient, and patient-centered team-based care with inclusive integrative teams. And yes, that means NDs. It was clear from the summit that this is the future of healthcare in our country. NDs are already engaged in more collaborative care in clinics with medical doctors, nurse practitioners, and others. And I think we can expect this to continue with more and more NDs working as part of integrative teams, each profession bringing its expertise to the table for better patient outcomes. It's a bright future for you guys. With the growing interest in a natural approach to health, it is an amazing time to be a naturopathic doctor. In fact, I found some interesting statistics. According to the Government of Canada Job Bank, the naturopathic profession is expected to face a moderate risk of a labor shortage over the period of 2024-2033, with the demand slightly exceeding supply. Wonderful news. Annual employment growth for the profession of 2.6% is expected to be higher than the national average of 1.2%. There will be challenges, of course, that's what life is all about, but the future is bright, and I really believe that the opportunities for you are endless. In closing, there's a phrase that has always resonated with me, and it is that you should begin as you intend to go forward. So graduates, begin your career as naturopathic doctors with pride in what you've accomplished and the profession that you have chosen, confidence in your ability to help millions of Canadians, empathy for your patients and all those around you, enthusiasm for everything that you do, of course, curiosity, a thirst for knowledge, a love of nature, the land and its peoples, and importantly, a commitment to support and get involved with the organizations that are there to support you. I now look to all of you to be the next change agents continuing to make inroads for the profession in Canada. And I'll be watching. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sean, and can we all agree, what a career and what an impact. Now, in celebration of our honorary degree recipient and you, our 2025 graduates, I am pleased to invite the Fisher Quartet to perform to mark our celebration.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Nick de Groot, and I'm the Dean at CCNM. As such, it is my privilege to begin the part of the ceremony that you've been waiting very, very patiently for, the graduation of our students. To help with this, the recipients of CCNM's Excellence in Teaching Award are given the honor of announcing the members of the graduating class. These two faculty members were selected by the graduating class in recognition of the contribution that they have made to our graduates' learning. This year's winners of the 2025 Excellence in Teaching Awards are, if I can get Dr. Karim to stand, Dr. Maria Shapoval, ND, for outstanding academic instruction. And Dr. Sean McConnell, ND, for outstanding clinical instruction. Together, they will now present the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine class of 2025.
I am honored to call on the graduates of the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine, class of 2025, to receive their Doctor of Naturopathy degree. As I call your name, please present yourself to be hooded and to accept your degree. I ask Dr. Nick de Groot, ND, CCNM's Dean, to step forward to hood the graduates, and Dr. Rahim Karim, President and CEO of CCNM, to take his position to give each new graduate their degree. Shanaz Latif. Gianni Marianne Ado. Caitlin Aguar. Alejandra Alboris. Zainab Al-Hashimi, not attending. Noy Amsterdam. Royce Andel. Holly Astrom. Harleen Atwal. Danica Jacqueline Bailey. Inthu Bachlowin Tharunacht Than. Heidi Barrow. Kyle Baxter. Sal Ben Moucha. Not attending. Lindsay Booker. Sarah Boulay. Omaima Buzian. Megan Brousseau. Ariana Buccini. Emily Burt. Samantha Lee Catania. Paige Haley Chambers. Shannon Ashanthi Chandrasegaram. Anastasia Chernik. Lydia Sikoevich, not attending. Raquel Coquette. Maria Cristina Conte. Madeline Rosetta Cryer-Billy. Christy Darug. Naisargi Dave. Tatiana Di Paolo. Ashlyn Delbert. Paige and Sir. Emily Alice Earl. Vanessa Josephine Eady. Siobhan Egan. Dan Fairburn. Fatime Farakhzad. Lauren Garbach. Mohammed Gariu. Victoria Gasparini. Maha Ahmed Ganaum. Jenna Christine Greco. Laura Haig. Michelle Harrington. Samantha Helm. Anastasia Hill. Laura Hill. Zacharias Wikuchaya. Noble Inasu. Deandra Jean-Baptiste. Nicole Joliffe. Ava Kamali. Taz Kassam Fuller. Amy Kavanagh. Ali Keller. Emily Koss. Sydney Lake. Lisa Lapshina. Eun Young Grace Lee, not attending. L'Oreal Legari. Kayla Linton. Emily N. Lucetta. Ashley Lum. Shayla Lyons. Shivangi Maheshwari. Mary Joyce Monkupa Maleba. Marika Malali. Michaela Margiota. Leah Martin. Nyasha Masarirambi. Carla Isadora Matos Sosa. Mackenzie Forbes Myers. Lindsay Mackenzie. Morgan McWaters.
Sarah Morse. Noor Abu Nafisa. Jesse Nuss Elder. Ruta Odulak. Quinlan Palmer. Dorian Paris. Yuri Park is not attending. Garima Parmar. Christina Pierce. Sarah Pearson Legault. Gina Peshutu. Jose Peralta. Maddie Peters. Vanessa Phillips. Julia Piccoli. Paige Pizonka. Mackenzie Piper. Alexandra Paquette. Daniel J. Pugliese. Shabnam Radar. Joanne Ford Reed. Zoe Rizhanovsky. Ava Sadat Sharifi. Rania Salih. Erica Salisbury. Karina Samji. Savannah Sandhu. Sangha Shan. Samira Sather. Daria Schaff. Anis Shomali. Shabazz Singh is not attending. Maria Skvortsova. Nicole Smolensky. Nicholas Stanley. Bradley Steves. Simone Stein. Simone is also the recipient of the 2025 Alpha Science Lab Prize for Excellence in Case Reporting, which is awarded to a student in the year 4 for the highest mark in the case report assignment. Ava Sturm, sorry. Sturm. Vijay Lakshmi Subramanian. Mira Sachdev. Andrea Solyak. Stephanie Sutton. Neha Zergis. Shireen Tamson. Maria Dmitrievna. Gassia Tatikian. Alex Taylor. Ashley Taylor. Dana Taylor. Christina Tersini. Villawan Tata Yetikam. Ava Thiessen. Asha Thurlow. Kendra Tillemans. Skylar Peyton Tierney. Jeanette Titus. Edja Toprak. Diana Tran. Fong An Tran. Apollonia Vanova. Najin Vaziri. Alessandria Vesho. Julia Elisa Viveros. Vladimir Vyuzhanin is not attending. Sydney Wan. Thank you. Sydney Alexandra Witten. Natalie Weidman is not attending. Kyra Weidenmeyer. Megan Wild Dennis. Evian Emerald Shante Williams. Megan Warrock. Nadezhda Yakovleva. Felicia Yang. Un Young Jasmine Yang. Payman Yazdahasti is not attending. Elam Masava. What? Oh, that's not me, that's Simone. Congratulations.
Graduates, let me just say that in my years of doing this, I have never seen so much love and support from your family and friends. Give them a hand. I am now very pleased to call on Dr. Jasmine Carino, ND, Associate Dean, Curriculum and Residency, to honor the graduates of the residency program.
Thank you. Once a student graduates from a naturopathic college, they can apply to become a resident. Residencies are available at CCNM and in a number of naturopathic clinics across the country and North America. The CCNM residencies are a 2-year postgraduate program. The residents being honored today are honored for successful completion of their residency, and they've had a variety of experiences depending on where they've done their residency and what type of residency it has been. For some residents, patient care has been the primary focus. Others combine patient care with supervision of interns, and others have focused almost exclusively on research. Our honorees have grown as naturopathic medical experts, scholars, and health advocates. I ask Dr. Rahim Karim to join me on stage to present the residency certificates. The first recipient, Dr. Yusuf Sadat Nejad, ND, is unfortunately unable to attend today. We salute his accomplishment. The second recipient, Dr. Brennan Joseph David DeDecker, ND, is here today. I invite you to the stage to be draped and accept your certificate.
Congratulations, popular guy. Our residents will also be receiving certificates from the Council of Naturopathic Medical Education for having successfully completed their accredited residency program. We will now move to the presentation of graduate awards. I would ask Dr. Carol Morley, ND, Vice Chair of the CCNM Board of Governors, to announce the Governor's Award of Excellence.
The Governor's Award of Excellence recipient has achieved outstanding academic performance in the Doctor of Naturopathy degree program. It is my pleasure to present the 2025 Governor's Award of Excellence to Sydney Alexandra Witten.
I would now like to call on our Dean, Dr. Nick DeGroot, ND, to announce the rest of the awards.
The Humanitarian Award is presented to the graduate who best exemplifies dedication to the betterment of society and service to humanity. This person will have demonstrated this through words and deeds that reflect the principles of naturopathic medicine and produce meaningful change in the lives of others. It is our pleasure to present the Humanitarian Award to Eva Isabella Maria Sturm. The Leadership Award is presented to a graduate that has exemplified outstanding leadership within the CCNM community. We are very happy to present this award to Madeline Rosetta Cryer-Billy. The Clinical Excellence Award is presented to a graduate who has demonstrated not only exemplary clinical skills, but also consistent integration of naturopathic principles, a clear understanding of the therapeutic order, and implemented both to create comprehensive treatment protocols providing excellent patient care. We are pleased to present this award to Quinlan Lillian Maria Palmer. The NSA also bestows the Community Spirit Award to the graduate who has demonstrated exceptional commitment and consistent desire to promote student life at CCNM. Through their involvement, they have significantly contributed to raising school spirit and making a positive impact on the CCNM community. This year's recipient is Nicole Smolensky. The NSA Naturopathic Honor Award is the most prestigious award that the Naturopathic Student Association bestows on one of its members. It is awarded to the graduate who has demonstrated outstanding leadership, contribution, and dedication to CCNM throughout their time at the college. In addition, it is recognition of a student who has served as a role model to other students, inspired students to take action, and has most actively and positively impacted CCNM as an agent of change. This year, we are delighted to present this award to Jeanette Marie Titus.
Congratulations. I now call upon Dr. Carol Morley, ND, Vice Chair of the CCNM Board of Governors, to administer the naturopathic oath to the graduating class of 2025.
Would the 2025 graduating class of the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine please rise? I ask the platform party to stand in witness of the administration of the naturopathic oath, and I would invite any naturopathic doctors in the audience who wish to stand to witness the oath as well to do so now. Class, repeat after me. I dedicate myself to the service of humanity. As a practitioner of the art and science of naturopathic medicine. By precept, education, and example. I will assist and encourage others to strengthen their health. Reduce risks for disease. And preserve the health of our planet for ourselves and future generations. I will continually endeavor to improve my abilities. I will conduct my life and practice of naturopathic medicine with integrity and freedom from prejudice. I will keep confidential what should not be divulged. I will honor the principles of naturopathic medicine. First, to do no harm. To cooperate with the healing powers of nature. To address the fundamental causes of disease. To heal the whole person through individualized treatment. To teach the principles of healthy living and preventative medicine. With my whole heart before these witnesses. As a naturopathic doctor of medicine. I pledge to remain true to this oath. Class, congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Morley. Class, you may sit down. This year, the 2025 graduating class has elected Madeline Rosetta Cryer-Billy as their valedictorian. I would therefore like to call Madeline to the stage to receive recognition of this honor from Dr. Karim and to deliver today's valedictory address.
Good afternoon, faculty, administration, friends, family, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2025. When I found out I'd be giving this speech, I did what any self-respecting, overachieving student might do. I Googled how to write a valedictorian speech. And the first few results were surprisingly helpful. They told me things like, begin with a goal, make it for everybody, inspire your audience, and do not say, we finally made it. So I won't. And then there was one that stood out. Humor speaks volumes. That's when I knew this was going to be a challenge. Because let's be honest, humor isn't exactly my specialty. I mean, we went into science for a reason. But I'll do my best to at least try and make you laugh. And for whatever I may lack in humor, I promise to make up for with heartfelt sincerity. But in all seriousness, the reason I'm standing here today isn't because of Google's advice. It's because of something much more profound. I'm here today to honor and celebrate this incredible journey that we have shared over the last 4 years. The graduating class of 2025 is a special one. Known as the Legacy Class, we are the last cohort to complete CCNM's legacy curriculum. We are one of CCNM's largest graduating classes to date. Thank you, everyone, for sitting through that. And we can't forget that we are the last class to have completed part of this program during the pandemic. For most of us here, our journey began in 2021, when the world was holding its breath as the COVID-19 pandemic was still unfolding. Every corner of life seemed uncertain. I can vividly remember thinking I was about to move to Toronto to begin this next chapter, only to be told that the first year of the program would be delivered online. So, instead of meeting each other in the lecture theater or crowded hallways, we spent our first year on Zoom, staring at tiny boxes on a screen, muting and accidentally unmuting, and desperately trying to navigate this program from the confines of our home. But I don't want to make it sound like it was all bad. When I think about this time, a few very fond memories come to mind. 2 words, graduates: Dan's iPad. Where are you, Dan? There he is. Dan's iPad, faithfully logging into every class that year. You know, I don't think I actually knew Daniel's last name until the end of first year, and by that point, it didn't matter. Dan's iPad would live on for the next 4 years. Or what about the time in our first year ethics course when we learned one of the official professional guidelines to refrain from kissing our patients? Who would have thought, right? That single moment spawned a group chat that lived on for years, passionately titled Kiss-Free NDs. And if that doesn't say professionalism, I don't know what does. Now, all jokes aside, it's hard to express what that first year was truly like. In just 8 short months, we completed 22 courses, several of which exposed us to an entirely new way of thinking. We were stepping into an unknown future, not just as students, but as future clinicians, in a world that was in the midst of unfathomable change. And it would have been easy to see this as a disadvantage. After all, how do you pursue a career in healthcare when the very act of healing was being challenged at a global scale? How do you build the foundation of a medical education when everything, including the classrooms, was virtual? How could you build connection with colleagues and patients from 6 feet apart? We could have let the pandemic shape us into passive observers, but instead, we chose to see it as preparation. And it wasn't just the trials of COVID that we endured, it was the understanding that in the face of uncertainty, we have the ability to decide how we will respond. As future doctors, we have the privilege and responsibility to reframe challenges, to find hope in dark times, and to guide our patients through their own uncertain moments. And so, through all of the chaos and the endless unknowns, we made a choice. Despite how much was out of our control, we chose to enter healthcare. We chose to adapt. We chose to find meaning in the middle of madness. We chose to step forward into the uncertainty when the world needed healers more than ever. Setting this goal for ourselves and really owning it took bravery, resiliency, and agency. The last few years have been a masterclass in perspective. Every challenge we faced, every obstacle we overcame, has been an opportunity to see the world and ourselves through a different lens. During my internship, I had the privilege of being on Dr. Prowski's mental health focus shift, and a common theme that arose was a quote that Dr. Prowski shared that has stayed with me ever since. It reads, "If 99% of things in life are out of your control, what is the 1% that you can own?" And that 1%, our mindset, our outlook, our willingness to keep choosing hope even when nothing was guaranteed, I argue that's what carried us all here today. If the last 4 years have taught us anything, it's that no matter how much we plan, life, patience, and even our own hearts don't always follow a neat script. We've spent countless hours preparing, studying, and practicing our clinical skills. We've researched and meticulously crafted detailed treatment plans. And yet, how many times did you sit across from a patient thinking you knew exactly where the visit was going, only to be completely derailed by the reality of their story? A patient opening up about something unexpected, a disclosure that changed everything you thought you knew about their care, moments that demanded not just our knowledge, but our presence. In those moments, we were reminded it's not the perfect treatment plan that matters most. It's not the polished intake form or the carefully memorized list of differentials. It's the human being sitting in front of us. One of my favorite quotes of all times comes from Dr. Donald Berwick, who said, "Those who suffer need you to be something more than a doctor. They need you to be a healer. And to become a healer, you must do something even more difficult than putting your white coat on. You must take your white coat off." Becoming a naturopathic doctor has never just been about mastering biochemistry pathways or memorizing herbal monographs. It isn't about using complex scientific language to make certain our patients are aware of just how much we know. It's about learning to sit with the complexity of another person's experience. It's acknowledging that no system is perfect, and navigating healthcare can be really scary for our patients. It's about remembering that sometimes the most powerful thing we can offer isn't a prescription, but rather a moment of genuine connection, a moment of truly seeing and hearing. And this too brings us back to that 1% that we can own. When the outcome is unknown or the path isn't clear, we can always choose how we show up for ourselves and our patients, with humility, humanity, and heart. In medicine, and especially in naturopathic medicine, there is no place for pride. The best healers are the ones who listen more than they speak, who let their patients teach them, who understand that healing is not something we do to someone, it's something we do with someone. Humility helps us to hear our patients' stories fully. Humility reminds us that each individual knows something about their own healing that we, no matter how many degrees we hold, can never fully see. Being humble doesn't mean doubting your abilities. It means being open to wisdom that comes from outside of yourself, the wisdom found in every patient, every colleague, and every new experience. Humility allows us to acknowledge our strengths and our limitations, to rely on science and to respect experience, to lead with both knowledge and kindness. As naturopathic doctors, we are signing up to be lifelong learners. We will never have all the answers, and that's okay, because what our patients need most isn't perfection, it's presence. And so here we are, 4 years later. We persevered through the exams, the OSCEs, the clinical shifts, the late nights, and those moments when we wondered if our brains could possibly fit one more damn acupuncture point. We are standing on the threshold of a new chapter. Some of us know exactly where we're headed next. We have clinics lined up, areas of focus solidified, and visions of our future so clear we could draw them. And some of us, we're still figuring it out. Some of us are moving to new cities, new countries even. Some of us are getting married, starting families, or taking leaps we never could have imagined 4 years ago. Some of us are looking at a blank page with no idea what comes next. And honestly, that can be terrifying. But I want to remind you of something. We've been here before, remember? We started this journey in a place of complete uncertainty. We stepped into a world that we couldn't control. We made a brave choice in the middle of chaos. And I think Google was right to tell me not to simply say we made it, because we didn't just make it. We grew, we changed, we embraced, and we became. We learned that when 99% of things are out of our control, we can still own that 1%. We can own our choice to see challenges as opportunities to grow, not reasons to give up. We can own our belief in ourselves and the incredible healers we are becoming every single day. My friends, life is a big, messy, beautiful game of perspective. How many times did we think we were failing, only to realize later that we were growing? How many moments did we feel lost, only to look back and see how those moments led us exactly where we needed to be? If I've learned anything from these past 4 years, it's that success isn't about everything going according to plan. It's about who we become when nothing does. And so, as we step into this next season of uncertainty, I want to leave you with this. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Instead, ask yourself, what is the 1% I can own right now? The world doesn't need us to be perfect. It needs us to be present. It needs us to show up with humility, humanity, and the courage to keep choosing that 1%. Thank you so much for being a part of this incredible journey with me. Thank you for the laughter, the late-night study sessions, the collective panic before exams, the support, and the memories I hope we will all treasure for a lifetime. I'm so incredibly proud of each and every person in this room, and I can't wait to see the extraordinary ways you will continue to choose your 1%. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you, Madeline, for that very thoughtful address. Friends, this marks the end of our formal ceremony. Thank you to everyone who took the time today to join us for CCNM's 43rd Convocation. We would especially like to thank the Fisher Quartet for their music today. Graduates, immediately following the recessional, please return to this room for the official group photograph of the class of 2025. The photo will, of course, be available on all of CCNM's social media channels. Please follow us at MyCCNM. Family and friends, please remain seated as our graduates make their way back into the room for the picture. Now, after the photo, graduates, please return your gowns, hoods, and umbrellas to the Schwartz-Reisman Innovation Campus at 108 College Street, where you were gowned earlier today, and where our reception that you are all invited to takes place. Finally, I would now ask you all to remain standing as the platform party exits the auditorium, followed by our new graduates. Thank you.